Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to TLR, the Ludicrous Report. What is this, episode 42 now?
I lost track. It's in the
Yeah.
hold on, let me look. I think it's in the
I'm-
caption, no?
I think it's 42.
It is 42. Look at us.
Look at us, 42.
Who
and
would have thought?
thriving. Yeah, exactly. As always, your co-hosts, Issa and Joey. Issa, this week in particular, it felt like I hadn't talked to you for like ever. And I don't know why. I was so used to seeing you for a few days in Detroit.
No.
And now
I know.
I can't get over it.
Same. I miss you, but it's like really funny because I feel like we had these weird sporadic ways that we keep in touch with each other. Like sometimes like just me trying to like go out of my comfort zone and find a local coffee shop. That was inspired by you because I
I
told
love
you
that.
in Detroit I go to Starbucks,
Yeah.
and I was like, I found out that they opened one by my gym, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. And I sent you a picture. You respond to my Roman story. So I also feel like we have like 5 different conversations depending on where we're talking. Like we have one on Twitter, one on Instagram, one on text. But I do miss you. We were literally inseparable in Detroit, so we need to plan another trip. And Roman says hello, of course.
I can't wait for the next like event that we get to do where we both go. But we've been talking about like we need to do like we're travel buddies now.
We need to plan a trip. Whether we go to like a random event or whether we just do like a little road trip somewhere, I think it will be fun.
Absolutely. But no, I was telling somebody the other day that we like when we met, we just instantly clicked. I know we talk about it all the time, but then when we finally hung out in person, like it felt like we've done it so many times because we do the show together. But like it just felt like so like I don't know. It's very weird to explain.
I know what you mean because sometimes you're like, okay, we talk. It's different when you talk to people online than it is to sit down somewhere and hang out. And I kind of like I know we clicked immediately because you got in the Uber and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But like the fact that we ended up staying out until so late and like we had drinks, we went back. Like I was like, okay, this really does click because we are. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, okay, I hung out with you for an hour. I'm out. This isn't for me.
That's why I go into your chats when you do your live streams because like I miss hanging out with you. And I also get obviously your chat as well as there. So.
Yeah, and I try to keep my live streams like I like to approach my watch alongs as exactly that. Like we're all watching wrestling together. So like let's imagine all of us are sitting here watching it together. What kind of crap will we be talking? You know what I mean? So I think that makes it more fun. Like sometimes I see it on Twitch, especially where people are just doing watch alongs and it's just putting their own commentary over what they're watching. They're not paying attention to the chat. It's either that or it's just quiet watching the show. And I'm like, how is this a watch along? Like, I do think that sometimes I don't I don't talk a lot about what I'm watching, but I'm assuming that everybody's watching it with me, so I don't have to explain to you what we're watching. We're all watching it, But I hate going into like a stream and see people either not acknowledge the chat at all, or like just. Or not talk at all. They either not talk and don't say hi to the chat. Speaking of, hello to Ricky. I see Ryan, Samantha, Jaman, Joseph, our usuals just chiming in. Hello, you guys.
What's going on, guys? Happy to see you all here. But no, it's funny because it's not funny, but your style of your live streams and how you make content, like you're very personable, but you're also very like exciting to. You never know what you're going to say.
Literally. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. And then I say something and I'm like, oh, crap.
Like, it's so funny to watch you and the way you incorporate what you're watching, but also with what your chat is talking about. Like, I tell you this all the time on screen, behind the camera. You are so you have such a gift when it comes to making content because not everybody, like you can have millions of followers, millions of subscribers, but if you don't have an audience that genuinely likes you and like cares for you, you can't survive in any industry. And you have that. Like you have this audience that they will come to TLR to watch and listen to you. They go to your streams. They'll find you at shows. Like you got an
I
army.
appreciate that, Joey. Thank you. And that means a lot. But I think it's like I personally, I get asked for advice a lot from other
Yeah.
content creators and stuff. And I feel like it's you build that connection by welcoming your audience in and like
Mhm.
making them feel like they're part of things and not like listen, when we get donations, it's a beautiful thing. We need them.
Yep.
Everybody knows what we do is not cheap. It takes time,
Yeah.
it takes money. But at the same time, I also hate when people only acknowledge super chats or donations and not acknowledge
Yeah.
everybody else in the chat. I think, yeah, you get excited when you get that super
Yeah.
chat, but that doesn't mean the people that are not there don't count. So I always tell people, it's like in order to get people invested into what you do, you have to invest in them as well. It needs to be like a back and forth.
Yeah.
So I don't like to think, I think I built a community. That's what I call it. And I think
Yeah.
if anybody watching, like that's my number one advice for content creators. Like whether you have one person watching you or thousands, you need to make them feel invested the way that they invest in you.
Yeah. And another thing too, it is extremely hard. Maybe not for you, but in general, it's hard to like focus on the content you're doing, what you're watching, but also keep up with the chat and like everybody's name. Like you are like you got to.
I
It's a
had
gift.
I had a little bit of an issue because I was gonna bring somebody in to help me clip some of my content to make them into shorts for like anyway. The whole point is
Yeah.
that I realized that it wasn't gonna work out because I need somebody that can go back and watch my streams because I can't keep track of my timestamps at the same time as I'm doing everything else. And I know it sounds easy, but it's not because I'm paying attention to everything.
Exactly.
So for me to go, oh, that was kind of funny. I should not, no, I don't have time for that. I forget. And I'm like, if I have to go back to watch the 3 hours to give you the timestamps, then you're not cutting me any time. I'll do it myself, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's very complicated. It was funny when we went to Detroit. And the one thing that I think is really funny is that Big E said that he wouldn't want to do commentary because of having to sit there for 3-4 hours
3 hours.
without going to the restroom. I laugh so hard internally because I'm like, I don't think people understand how hard, especially
No.
because sometimes I drink during my
Yeah.
streams, and it's just
Yeah.
like every once in a while I do have to do like a quick intermission, but it's like it is very hard. I give
Yeah.
not just
You're
content
on
creator, but
3
like
hours.
people like Michael Cole, like commentators, like there's like people don't understand like there is a lot that goes into it. Like
Yeah.
I don't even look, like I barely look at my text. I don't pay attention to emails, nothing, because I'm here, I'm watching, and I'm with them. So I've seen my family like getting my shot to like get my attention sometimes if they need me because they know that's gonna be the best way to do it. But that is like I know we talk pop culture here, but I do think that that is like important for other content creators that are looking to do that, to understand that you have to build that connection. And
Yeah.
you know, like I sometimes you jump into a string and you see people just plugging all of this stuff and their merch and this and that when they're not even bothering to say hello to the people that are tuning into them.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. You can't be where you're at, or you won't become anybody without these people that are invested in you. So give them the time of day and
Yeah.
you know, acknowledge them as well.
No, and you are like the tribal chief because you acknowledge everybody who needs to be acknowledged. Yeah, you're the one. No, but you do. You acknowledge people. You know them like as individuals, not
Yeah.
just the chat. You know what I mean? And I think that's like it's how it should be, but it's also like the coolest thing. And there's so many content creators who are like have more exposure than us, have more followers and whatever, and they are not doing that.
But a lot of times, and that's what we're talking about. Like, I feel like if you walk into a stream that has thousands of viewers and there's no interactions, there's no nothing. I'm like, I'd rather hang out with my 100 people where we're
Yep.
having a blast than have 3,000 people where nobody's being like read. And you know, and I find it fulfilling. I mean, I've seen a lot. I've gone through a lot with my audience that they know currently with my mom's situation. But there's
Yeah.
also a lot of people that have come to me that are going through some rough times, or that have gone through a lot of times. I'll give a shout out to Samantha in the chat. Samantha just recently went through an illness. She battled some stuff, and she was giving us updates in the chat. Like, it really becomes a community, and you
Yeah.
become so invested in these people and their
Like a
journeys as
family.
well as yours. I'm like, I look forward to sitting down and hanging out with them. Another thing that I don't do, and another like advice for content creators, if I'm not feeling it, if I don't feel well, or if I'm not feeling it, I would rather cancel than come on and put on a boring show or just not be there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I like to think of a distraction, and I want people to watch me because we're gonna have fun. I don't take it seriously. Everybody knows that. Like Samantha just said, I do drink. I don't take it seriously. I watch my wrestling to have fun. Do I criticize it and talk crap? Yes, but I just want to have fun. So a lot of times it's like I don't fake it. If I'm not feeling it, I'd rather just cancel it than get in there and just phone it in. That's not my style.
You're winging it, and it's just not quality. And I think that's a big misconception with people, because obviously, like, to grow as a content creator, you need to have quantity, content all the time, consistent. But the key is it needs to be quality. And if it's not quality, it's you might as well not do it. And
people don't get it. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, when I get done streaming, I go through like 10-20 minutes of just quiet time in the dark. Because it's draining. Like, you're just talking, you're doing all this. I'm like, I get done, I go sit in the couch, let Roman lick my face for like 20 minutes with no sounds, no lights, no nothing.
Fun fact: every time I wrap up an interview, whether it's a 5, 10, an hour interview, the first thing I do is I shut my laptop and I just go outside, and I need to stand in the sun for like 10 minutes to like refresh myself, because it's draining.
Imagine doing it for 4. I don't know how long we're gonna do this all in this Sunday, but the best thing that I did about my apartment upgrade is that this one has a balcony, so I also do the same thing. Go out for some fresh air. I have the lights on me, so I do call it dark. I call it my dark time, because it's like I don't want any lights on me. I just sat in front of lights for this long. But yeah, there's a lot of tips, and everybody's different, right? I can sit here and give everybody that wants to like be a live streamer updates, but the number one thing is like, if you gotta be consistent, so you gotta be ready to like kiss having a life goodbye. At least having a life after 5 p.m. when there's wrestling on. I don't have one. At 5, I gotta start eating my dinner so that I can start getting ready, and my night doesn't end until sometimes 1 a.m. if I gotta do the podcast after. So you really have no life. But we do cover a sport that's just so constant. There's so much of it. So like this weekend, Joey, I work both days. So not only did I stream all week, I cover events Saturday and Sunday here. So I'm running on coffee, man.
Yeah, well, speaking of, not having a life and having just so many things going on, and man, imagine having like not one, but 2 kids. Like, Rihanna. Let's talk about Rihanna.
Yay! She's a mom again.
She is a mom again, but what I really liked about this article, I don't know if you caught on to it. The title of the article, I'm going to read it to you and tell me what comes to mind. Rihanna secretly gives birth to baby number 2.
It's funny because I was just going to say she did it privately, Joey.
Yep. It says she secretly gives birth to baby number 2.
How is that secretly? We all know she was pregnant, and we all know she's about to pop. I don't understand what's the secret about it.
They're saying it the way that I tried to do last week, where like it was more of, they didn't want to announce it when it first happened. They didn't want to make any news about it until later.
I was going to say, this woman announced her pregnancy in the Super Bowl halftime show. There hasn't been anything secretive about this pregnancy. She recently posted a beautiful spread. I think it was for her Savage Fenty line in like lingerie, still modeling her belly. Like, I actually feel she was more secretive about her first pregnancy than she was about this one. But I do see that because, first of all, I felt like she was pregnant forever. Like, I'm like, when I just saw the news,
like a year ago,
I'm like, football's coming back. She was in the but I guess, whatever. Rihanna, I feel like a proud mom with Rihanna. You know what I mean? Like it's been crazy how far she's come. I'm proud of her. She's just living her best life. She's doing her. And you can just tell that Rihanna doesn't care about what anybody thinks. And I love that because I have a similar attitude. And that's honestly the best way to go.
She really does. Like, if you saw her at the halftime show, like, you could just see it on her face. She did not care at all. Like, she was just doing her thing. She's like, I'm a mom, I'm pregnant, and I'm performing at the halftime show. And, like, I run a $1 billion business. Like, she just is all over the place doing everything. She is the epitome of, like, what like hard work is. Like, being a badass, like.
And the things that she's done, like the other day, I think I heard Pon the Replay, which was her first like breakthrough hit, and I was like, "Holy crap, she's come such a long way from this little." She looks so young, little girl from the Caribbean, just wanting to sing and have fun, to just becoming this icon and a billionaire. And I still think that I love the numbers that she played, like that she shows. I love that she picked some of the Kanye songs. I do think that her halftime show was underwhelming, but I think it's because she was so limited, right? She's pregnant. She's out there pregnant. But yeah, congratulations to her. Is there pictures of the baby yet?
I didn't see any in the
I haven't
article.
seen any yet. Let me go.
No.
Let me go to social media real quick. I'm gonna stalk her.
It might be secret. You never know.
Yeah, I don't think she's posted anything.
No, but you said underwhelming for the halftime show. I think obviously because she was limited, like you said, but I was expecting like a feature because she had so many.
That's her other baby. I was like, it's a big ass baby. It's her other baby.
This baby came out at 3 years old.
This is the picture I'm looking at. Okay, I was like, why is the baby so big? I'm stupid.
I like this. This is what we were talking about. LOL, like Ashley Olsen kept her pregnancy private. Anissa thought Joey thought it should be been in public.
I laughed about that for so long because the way
and then I saw the clip of it.
The way you phrased it was just it was. I know what you meant.
Why was it in private?
You phrased it in such a way that I was like, if I don't call him out, I'll regret it forever.
Yeah. But I think it's so funny that this article about Rihanna specifically says Rihanna secretly gives birth to secretly. Like it's on TMZ right now. It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, if we know about it, it's not a secret. But I feel like it was about time. I feel like she was pregnant for so long. I can't wait to see the baby. It was another boy, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. There's some people that you see them pregnant and then all of a sudden they give birth and they're already pregnant with another baby and it feels like 3 months. And then there's people like Rihanna who I feel like she's just been pregnant for 6 years.
I know.
Doesn't the halftime show feel like it was so long ago?
Or there's some people that say like announce their pregnancy and next thing you know the baby's here and you're like, you just said you were pregnant. I saw recently a picture of Kourtney Kardashian, like her she's bumping and I'm like, I thought we just found out.
But here's the thing though. It feels like such a long time, but like the article says, she gave birth secretly. So maybe it was like a month or two ago and we're just finding out about it now.
Yeah, this is true.
It feels like such a long time because maybe it wasn't announced as soon as it happened.
Yeah, Kourtney's belly's big. I wonder what she's doing.
She was at that Blink-182 concert with the sign, and all of a sudden she had like a belly.
Well, she was showing there. You could see, but the problem is like Kourtney Kardashian is a very petite woman.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know who knows this or who doesn't, but it took me forever to learn that petite is a height thing, not a weight thing. A lot of people, I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to like petite sizing, it's actually for women that are like up to like 5'4". I always thought that petite.
I always thought it was like short.
Right. Well, I always thought it was for like smaller. Like if you're smaller, they would say you're petite, but that's not the case. I learned that the hard way because I remember in New York, somebody was like, "You are not petite," and I was like, "You calling me fat?" And they were like, "No, calling you tall." But the whole point is like Kourtney is a very petite woman, and I feel like she would show a lot faster. Like look at people like, for example, the way that Carmela's showing compared to like an Alexa Bliss. There's a different, not a lot, but there's a different in height there. Like it's crazy because there's also some women that would like not show at all. Next thing you know, you see a little bump. Next thing you know, the baby's here. But Rihanna has been bumping. I'm happy for her. I'm excited for her, and I'm jealous of that baby because it's going to have a great life.
You mentioned Carmela. Let me ask you if you saw the video that I cringed. She posted like this thing on Instagram. I think it was Instagram.
Okay.
And she posted a video of like showing her belly, and she said something like, "There's like a penis growing inside of her." Did you see that?
No.
I was like, and she was like sipping on a drink, like all happy. And I'm like, why would you post that? That's like a weird video.
When you look at it that way, that is funny. I have been a
Like,
big fan of her social media, especially
yeah,
her Instagram. She's been very interactive with
her
everybody
little
that comments.
vlogs and stuff.
I comment on her Instagram
Yeah,
a lot. I always did even before the pregnancy, and she's being interactive with everybody. Like
yeah,
she's just really having fun. And I think she posted something about something with her pregnancy things, and she said if any moms want advice, DM me. And I'm like, that is really cool of her.
yeah,
There was I thought she had one post where you could visually see her. Sorry, I don't know if we can say this on YouTube, but her covers, right? We
yeah,
women sometimes can't wear underwear, so we wear covers to not have a wardrobe malfunction. I
yeah.
bet you Janet Jackson wished these things existed back in the day. But she posted a picture where you can visually see it. And I remember seeing the
Yeah,
picture before I read the caption, and I was like, okay, I wear them all the time, especially because I'm on camera. I'm like, I can't afford to have it. I can't afford to have my YouTube channel taken away. But the caption to it was like, don't act like you never seen, like you didn't know women wear these. And I'm
yeah,
like, okay, respect, because a lot of us try to hide it, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
it was just so funny because I just remember seeing the picture and I'm like, okay, we all wear them, but we don't have to show
yeah,
it. But the whole point was to show it. She's being such a advocate for things that we're just not ready to talk about. Like she's done a
yeah,
lot of her videos without makeup, without this, without that, and I really have grown to. I always like Carmela. I actually
yeah,
always did, but I just really I respect her a lot. Like a lot of the things, like I remember all of the drama that went down when she got with Corey Graves without people even
yeah.
knowing the full story, and she got
They broke up
shamed
a
on
marriage
social
and all that
media
stuff.
when he was separated for a very long time, and
Yeah,
the wife was just like ex-wife was just salty. And it appears that now everybody's living so happy. Like her relationship with her stepkids is such a beautiful thing to watch. So
yeah,
I'm just happy that she's getting her happily ever after. Then we went through, her like she lost the baby. Like it's just I just want her to just be the happiest. That's all. As we're talking about moms to be and all that. So
yeah. I think that's the positive side of what we got out of social media because I feel like everyone always talks about, oh, social media ruined this and that when it comes to especially the wrestling business, how
hmm
we know a lot more than what we're used to knowing. And I
right.
think that, like, now seeing women wrestlers have a life outside of wrestling where before it wasn't the case. We didn't know what the life was. Now they're able to go out and show what it's like to be a mother, what it's like to have businesses and live outside and be successful and happy outside of the ring and still carry the character, to keep them relevant. I think that when Carmella comes back, she's going to be more popular than she was when she
Oh
left.
yeah, 1000%.
Yeah.
And it's helping people finally separate that.
Yeah.
Not just with wrestlers, like even in the entertainment industry, you're seeing people that like God, Captain America, his relationship with his dog is like my favorite thing. He
Yeah.
adopted this dog, he's in love with this dog. And like I just love separating the people from the character because a lot of times we forget that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just fun to see. I social media is I have a it's not like a love hate relationship. It's just how do you navigate it? Because
Yeah.
as much as I want to say, oh, I can stand it, I have met probably the majority of people that have become, including you, people that have become
Yeah.
really good friends. I met them
How
through
our
social
income. We get our
media.
income.
And it's just like I can't say here and say I hate social media because like literally half of the people that I talked to today I met because of social media. Like there are some good things that can come out of it. It's just a matter of how you navigate it. I like
You have to
joke
have boundaries.
I joke a lot about how I train my Twitter, well, X algorithm to just show me Bad Bunny, dogs, and but if you like enough tweets of the same
Yeah.
thing and you just go to the For You page, you will get what you don't need to see
Yeah.
all these toxic things. So
Yeah.
I have learned how to navigate it in a way that is good for my mental health, that is not like, because I do think that there are good things about social media, and I that baby's gonna come out
Yeah.
super kick the doctor in the face. But there's also like the other aspect of it. We have the Kardashian corner, that unrealistic beauty standards with all these filters and all this editing and all this, and I have noticed a lot of that toning down, and I'm glad. Like even Kylie Jenner,
Yeah.
we're completely going off topic, but even Kylie Jenner went on to say that if she could go back, she would take half of her surgeries and not do them because she feels like if her daughter wanted to have surgery at 19, she
Yeah.
wouldn't want to let her do it, but that's what she did. And it's just like, yeah, because of an unrealistic beauty standards that you guys set.
Yeah. And it's pretty convenient to say that after the fact. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, like, oh, I don't want to look this pretty anymore. I wish I can go back to the way I used to look. But such is life.
I just like the thing that I worry about, and it's not even a worry. I'm already too old to be worried about this thing. It's just that trends change so much. At my age, I have seen the trend of being a freaking 90-pound size zero was it. Then thicker, then these unrealistic looking bodies. And it's just like you're gonna go and alter your whole body
Yep.
surgically. What's gonna happen when that goes away? Because it goes away. Bodies, eyebrows, fashion, makeup, all of these trends change
Yep.
so fast. And we already have seen a lot of women remove some of their implants, like the exaggerated 1990s boobs are not in anymore. And
No.
I remember back in the day, girls would walk around with this size E, and they were like 100 pounds, and they were killing their back for this,
Yeah.
And that's what I worried about. It's like there's a lot of these surgeries that can't implants you can take out. That's great. It's
Well,
still
look at tattoos. A lot of people getting tattoos removed now from filling
yeah.
their bodies up. Look,
I heard that
I have
removing them
tattoos,
hurts
but
more than getting them
I
done.
heard that too. I heard that too.
I have a lot of tattoos, but I wouldn't take them back. Like tattoo is a
No.
tattoo. Like I feel like I have a funny story behind every of them, and it's just
Yeah.
there. I don't know.
No,
If I cover myself, maybe I'll feel differently. But right now, my tattoos are small enough that they don't bother me, and I want like them more. But all my tattoos that I
Yeah.
want are small and are things that I just know that I'll laugh about. But I've reached an age where I don't care anymore. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm me at this point. Take me or leave it.
Well, you don't want to fill your body with tattoos like Pete Davidson and just get like a ketchup bottle and like some random person's like kids' names on you. And
Remember the I wish we had this show when the Amber. Oh my god! When we get at the end, I watched the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp documentary.
I haven't yet, but I want to hear about it.
So good.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like the tattoo that he has gets brought up when he has Winona Forever because he was dating her, and I guess he had it removed to just say Wino Forever.
Oh.
Oh my god.
But we did mention the Kardashians a little bit. So we might as well mention an extension of the Kardashians, and that is Sir Kanye West, who's in the news again, but not specifically for anything that he did.
Well, he was here last week. We talked about his comeback with Travis Scott.
We did. This week, it's his wife. It's not Kim Kardashian.
his wish.com Kim, yeah.
Do you know who she is? Bianca Sensori? Is that,
I
that her
don't.
name? I don't know what the hell that is.
I didn't even know. I didn't even think he was married when I first heard about it. I'm like, they're making that up, and I guess he really did marry her.
Yeah, so they're in Italy apparently, and it says Italian residents are up in arms over her nude outings. Now, she didn't go out nude. She went out in like these tight little outfits that are nude color that basically make her look like she is nude. And people are even asking for the country to arrest her. They want her kicked out of the country or arrested. Okay. Let's start one place and we'll just work our way down the mountain here. What do you think of the outfits?
I can show these pictures on YouTube and we wouldn't get demonetized. I mean, the outfit, would I wear it? I don't think I will wear what she's wearing specifically, but I don't think it's as bad as they're making it sound. I feel like I've seen girls wear worse than this at the gym when I go work out every day.
She's fully covered. She's covered head to toe, but it's like they're like the legging kind of material, and it's like nude.
It's like a mesh. I have a lot of outfits. I don't know why everybody's deciding to. Sorry, I have a lot of outfits that have the mesh, and a lot of them come with like the underwear part, right? And you can see through the whole thing. Does that make sense? But I'm covered. What needs to be covered is covered. It's just see through. I feel like this isn't even. It's a nude impression. Brittney Spears went on MTV wearing a nude bedazzled suit years ago and nobody said anything.
Yeah.
And then Italians, they're the ones who make all of this high-end fashion. A lot of it is this.
Yeah. I'm looking at the pictures and she kind of looks like she's like coming from ballet class. Right?
That's why I said I see worse than this at the gym. Yeah, I don't know. That outfit doesn't bother me. I don't understand why people are being so sensitive.
I mean, like to the point of getting her kicked out of the country or arrested. Like, okay. Relax.
Do we know where in Italy they are that people are being that sensitive? Because like a lot of Kanye is a high-end fashion designer, and a lot of that fashion is very risque.
Yeah. I question his.
She's an architectural designer. Wow. Apparently, I had to Google her. I need to know. Like,
I don't know. She kind of looks like Doja Cat a little bit.
No, she doesn't.
Maybe I'm wrong.
She's Australian.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't ask me anything. I know nothing.
I didn't know who she was before she married Kanye.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. No, Bianca Censored should be her name because.
Well, Joseph in the chat brings up a good point. He said women are just jealous of Bianca's cuter than they are. It's really funny because I can see that too. You know, like why that I can 1000% see that being a possibility.
Yeah, a lot of fans.
They don't want their husbands looking out the window at their neighbor's wife coming out in her little outfit.
I don't know if you remember this, but we did talk about it on the show maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, where I told you that a fan recorded his interaction with her trying to like pick her up and ask for her number. And she said like, oh, I'm married. Sorry. Like, you know, she was just being respectful and just kind of, and it was all taped on camera. So I don't know, but I don't know. I guess the Italians are just flipping her off and they want her out.
Okay, hold on. This isn't, I'm about to throw a curveball because this isn't one of the topics.
Yeah.
But have you been keeping up with the Logan Paul fiance drama?
Yes. There's a lot of Logan Paul things happening right now. Him with his fiance, him and his brother. This guy's being.
But let me ask you something. Did you know who she was before Logan Paul?
No.
I didn't either. And apparently she's a model. She looks like a model, right?
Yeah.
She looks like a model.
Yeah.
And she dated, which I don't have a problem. I actually like kind of went off a little bit yesterday because somebody said something. And I'm like, there's something wrong with, like, we're not going to slut shame in 2023, right? But the fact that that's what they're using to like promote a fight is ridiculous. But I didn't know any of this before Logan. So it's crazy that this fight is exposing this because like we all have the right to date. It's like, who cares if you've gone around? But the fact that nobody knew, you know what I mean? And nobody like dig this up when he.
And she was dating people that people know. It wasn't like she was dating
Leo DiCaprio. She was dating like all like now it feels like Logan Paul's a downgrade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is.
Hey, give him some credit.
I give him credit, but you know, him dissing his brother all over social media too.
Oh my! Okay, I watched the clip. Right, I'm sorry, guys. You know, our conversations are we just go wherever we want. I love Logan Paul in WWE. I think he's got it down. I think that's where he belongs. Yeah. That clip of him and Jake Paul, I have never, and I have been part of every controversy he's had, ever heard him sound so entitled. Like being mad at Jake because he couldn't bring a bottle of Prime to his fight that he didn't even need to be there. You know, I know that he got a lot of. Samantha said she got to all for Leo.
We read it at the same time.
We had to stop what we were saying. I
love that, Samantha.
I just never seen anybody like be sympathetic towards Jake, and you can't help but to take Jake Paul's side. And I'm like, you know, it's bad when you're taking freaking Jake Paul's side of the argument.
Yeah.
Even Roman is out here saying Jake Paul was right.
Did you see the podcast he did after with two different people? And they were trying to get him to like talk bad about his brother, and he wouldn't do it. And he's like, I'm actually starting to like Jake Paul because of this. I'm like, this guy respects his brother too much to like talk about him like that. And
He gets it.
Logan's out here like, I'm the better fighter. You're stealing my fights. You're doing all this stuff. I'm like, what is happening? Like, I get like you want to stir up controversy, but let me ask you this, not to go off topic with this whole Logan Paul, Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul's like enemy is KSI.
Yeah, it's so crappy.
His brother went and started a business with his enemy, which is why they wouldn't allow Prime in the building for the fight.
The fight, the Nate Diaz fight had a beverage sponsoring it.
Yes.
And Jake said on the clip, Jake was like, if it was your event, I will show up and I'm not gonna promote any of it because I'm there for you. Yep. Like, and then he tried to say, oh, but we're brothers. But then he tried to say like, oh, but we're our own individuals. And I was like, oh, so you're only brothers when it's convenient to you. When it doesn't work out, like, it just made Logan sound very entitled and very like, I don't know where that came from, because he was like, oh, I need to be first at SummerSlam. And now it makes you, I'll say it, it makes you wonder if it was just a publicity stunt just to put himself 1,000%. Over and not to be there for his brother. And the fact that, okay,
to make him look like $1 million.
He showed up in his gear, right? And that drove me crazy, because I'm like, you mean to tell me you couldn't take a bag in your private jet that you could have changed in and showed up looking like a normal person? Why did he wear his SummerSlam gear? Answer me that. Riddle me that.
It was the publicity stunt. He wanted to look like the most supportive brother out there. And it's kind of funny because then all this stuff came out. So something must have happened behind the scenes where someone said, all right, you're trying a little too hard to look like you're the supportive brother, and you're not. And that's when this all came out. Because like,
I'm sorry. I know what we're end of August. A Jake Paul babyface turn was not in my 2023 bingo card at all.
And he's sitting there cool, calm, collected. He's like, I love my brother. I don't want to talk bad about my brother. Like, I support my brother. And Logan's out here like, you stole my fight.
I think that, okay, so if we talk about Jake, because we never do, we're both wrestling fans, and we like Logan Paul. Like, Logan has been incredible in WWE, but remember, Jake went through that whole Team 10 and all of the drama, and then he got his house raided by the FBI, which ended up being nothing because he never got arrested for that.
Yeah.
But if you think about that, at that point, he started winning these boxing fights, whether they're rigged or not. He started winning. And I feel like, controversial-wise, I think Logan has been out there a lot more than Jake in recent years. I don't hear a lot about Jake Paul, but maybe I'm not sorting it out where Logan Paul just shows up on all my timelines because he's what I cover.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. So I respect Logan Paul and the work he's done and everything he does, but I don't like him as a person. I think that it's just, I don't know. Especially seeing now what's coming out. I respect what you do. I love what you do. You're great at it.
It's a genius.
He's a genius.
He got I don't know what he's doing with Mr. Beast, but you know that's gonna go crazy viral.
Well, I predicted a long time ago that Mr. Beast was somehow, some way gonna get involved with WWE. And then he started tweeting to them like during things, like, because when KSI came in at WrestleMania, someone said, oh, Mr. Beast needs to come in. He like tweeted back to WWE. There was just, and then he started losing all this weight and getting in great shape. So I'm like, maybe he's not training for a boxing match, because he's not that guy.
No. But I can see
come in and do something with WWE. I could see definitely happening.
Mr. Beast has 2 videos in the last 2 weeks, and they have a total of 200 million views combined. I have never seen anything like it. Which, by the way, I shared this with you and everybody here. I'm a big YouTube nerd. Yeah. And the video that he released like 10 days ago, the vacation one, $1 versus a $250,000 vacation, there was a segment where he was with PewDiePie. And I found Mr. Beast when he did his whole subscribe to PewDiePie campaign. And he had like, I think he didn't even have 100,000 subscribers when I found Mr. Beast. Like, the way this guy has blown up in such a short period of time is crazy. But to see, because now he's surpassed PewDiePie. He comes into the scene.
Surpassed everybody.
Yeah, we get to know him because he's like running the campaign to keep PewDiePie the #1 YouTuber in the world. And like, just to see them meet in person for the first time, and like, it was such a, for my little YouTube like historian, moment, I was like, this is so emotional. It's just like the cloud that if WWE can get anything with Mr. Beast right now, yeah, I don't even think that sponsors, like, nobody can afford a sponsorship on a Mr. Beast video. People are watching Mr. Beast more than they're watching the freaking Super Bowl. Okay, like, I don't think people understand the pool that Mr. Beast has right now.
Yeah. It's just crazy because, like, I can see him doing something with WWE, but, like, for example, Logan works well with WWE because outside of the athleticism, he's got controversy. He's loud. He's calling people out. Mr. Beast is like the opposite.
Joey, but who does WWE love? It's the kids. And who is the main audience for Mr. Beast? It's the kids.
Yep.
Bring him, put a mic on him. They're gonna go crazy.
Yep. Have him do, or if you don't want to have him wrestle, have WWE superstars in a Mr. Beast video and like promote something with wrestling, like a $1 wrestling thing opposed to like a WrestleMania sellout. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
They could do content for him more than I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do. But I think it's genius.
We talked about everything, but what we like.
I know.
It's been a great week for pop culture news, though, and I'm trying to just cover everything.
Yeah, we're essentially just like flipping off the other news, and let's talk about flipping off because our president is getting flipped off.
What a transition!
Right? I tried, but. Man, I'm not one to talk politics or anything like that. I'm just not that guy. Like support we support. I don't care, But he's being heckled over his response to the wildfires in Hawaii, where he's literally out there and there are people flipping him off, yelling at him. Just that's a mess. It's a disaster. What do you think about seeing him, like hearing about the things that he's not doing for Hawaii, opposed to it's kind of hard to. We listen and watch the news, and it's like we don't know what's the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know what to believe. Is he like not doing anything? Is he doing things like?
I'm not gonna compare it, but I went through a period of time in which I saw a president completely stupid towards my home country, falling apart and in desperate need for help and aid and anything that Puerto Rico could get, and Trump came here and started throwing toilet paper at people, and I have never been more livid at anyone in my life at that time, right? And when you are put in a situation where people are losing everything, and these presidents come and they gotta tour the area, but there's so much more that can be done before you can get there. And what took you so long to get there? These fires have been going on for so long. Like, I hate politics, right? I hate politics, but when it comes to that, it's just like, okay, if you can get there, still get things moving. Like, you're the freaking president. You can call a press conference like this. And get things going and show that you're like, actions speak louder than words, and just going in there and driving around. What does that do? What are you actually doing? To help? Because it feels like all these GoFundMes and all these other like charities that have been set up to help Maui have helped a lot more than what I've heard higher officials do. And at that time, the level of stress, I was living in New York, but I was in Puerto Rico for Maria. I got stranded here for 2 weeks. People don't understand. We didn't have water. We didn't have electric. We couldn't even eat, like, drink anything cold. Like, people are in desperate times. And what we need for you is, like, put on your sneakers, get out of your car and start giving out things or something, I can't blame the country of Hawaii for being frustrated at the response. And as somebody that's experienced something similar firsthand, it's like, at that time, you don't want to see somebody just show up for, we're just talking about, like, like moves, like press moves. No, this isn't a PR stunt. This is a country that needs your help, and you need to do your job.
It's hard to find like the proper stance for it, because like as the president, obviously they have to go there and do do all the PR nonsense, but get stuff done. It's like easier said than done, I think, but show initiative to the people, to your people.
Yeah, because Hawaii always has just felt like the pretty state that nobody really pays attention to. Almost
Yeah.
like how Puerto Rico is the pretty territory that nobody pays attention to. So
Yeah.
if I might be full biased just because of what my own country went through, but I just
But I agree with
I
you.
gotta say they live in Maui. They know what they're going through. They're not gonna have. Do you think they were getting the help that they need? They were gonna be flipping off. They will probably be like throwing freaking flowers at the car or something. So there's a reason why these people are behaving this way.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, and I don't think there's any good way to get. There's no good in there at all. All I can do is just hope and pray that everything gets better and they get the support that they need, and they could start moving on with their lives some way, somehow.
A lot of people are doing a lot of really good stuff for Maui right now, and I just love to see that. And I hope it's such a beautiful country. I hope they recover. I call that country a state, but you get my point. It's a beautiful island. I hope they get to recover, but I can't imagine. I don't know. Everything about these fires felt very like the response to it. Even like I feel like it went from nothing to like Maui's under fire in like a couple hours.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I saw. I don't know if she's an adult film star or not. It was one of the articles I saw. You might have saw it too, where she's posting nude photos on OnlyFans to raise money for that. And it's like, people are going to do whatever they can, regardless if you respect it or not. People are doing a lot.
Well, allegedly, the AEW received $100,000 from that atrocious Texas Chainsaw sponsorship, and they donated that to Maui.
That should have been said before that happened. That should have been announced before that whole thing happened.
But it did. They did. They didn't talk about what they were getting, but on the beginning of the show, I'm never going to defend AEW, but at the beginning of the show, they said everything that they made from that show will go to Maui. It was
okay. I didn't know that.
It was when I did the Wrestling podcast, we talked about it because I remember Justin Labar said like, well, I don't like that Tony Khan tweeted about it after, and because this is when my watch alongs come in handy because I caught it and I read it on the beginning of the show, and I was like, that is great that they're going to be doing that. I believe the Young Bucks have released a new limited edition T-shirt that 100% proceeds will go to Maui.
That I saw, but I didn't know about the whole Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah. And before the show went on the air, there was a little scroll that went by that said everything made from the show that night will go to Maui release.
Well, I mean, listen, besides all the criticism that it got, I mean, it went to a good cause. So, like, it is what it is.
It's still the worst match in AEW history.
Absolutely. Just, I wish I was surprised I didn't catch it, and I was watching. So I don't know, but
all the love to the people of Maui and everybody watching. If you can donate, there's all kinds of links all over the place to help support.
Yeah. But to kind of get, the ball rolling more with the show, Brittney Spears, all this stuff going on with Brittney Spears. I honestly,
this is like a whole timeline we got to do.
I feel bad. I feel bad. Like, this is just, I don't even know what is going on. I see titles of articles and I'm like, how many times can this girl get hit? Like, how many times?
Well, like, the last time she literally got hit.
Give her.
It's not funny.
She is just like this poor girl. Like, let her live. Let her just be. Like, there should be an off limits thing. You give Brittney 6 months of not being in any media.
Just let her spin around in her living room in her underwears if that's what she wants to do. Yeah, please, just let her be, man.
Let her dance. She just wants to dance. I don't know.
All right, Brittney's getting divorced. That's how this whole thing started. That's the first headline I seen from Brittney. She's getting a divorce. I will say this marriage always seemed weird to me.
Every marriage, I think, seemed weird outside of Kevin Federline.
Right, because she had, and that was still even weird. But there was something about this. I do know that she met him on the set of her music video, so it might have been like an interest to begin with. Like a lot of people kind of accuse him of just the thing of it is a lot of people accused him of kind of like going after her, but it seemed like she went after him. Anyways, the thing of it is like the rumors are reporting that she's the one who stepped out on him. Rumors are saying she's the one who might have cheated, allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did that shock you?
No. Only because I know where she is, like, mentally. Like, she's just not fully there. I don't think she's making rational decisions. And I think maybe that led to somewhat of that in a way.
I was more shocked than the wedding was even a legit thing. I thought the wedding was like a stunt thing and it wasn't like a legal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was more shocking to me. But yeah, so another rumor, another headline for Brittney is that she's the one who, might have allegedly cheated and that's why he's leaving. He is like on social media, kind of like he was spotted out without the ring. He posted some silly post on his story about like, oh, what alias should I go on there? You see like Snapchat filters of how he should hide because the paparazzi is not going to leave him alone for a while, which gave me the impression that he's just loving the attention. In the middle of all of this, there was also the pre-release of her book. You can now pre-order it.
I was going to say that. The book's coming out soon.
And I think the headline that I sent you today is that now her lawyer is in charge of taking care of her because her husband's not there anymore.
Yep. Let me pull it up. It says Brittney's lawyer and manager are left in charge of her care, which is a weird title to put when she got out of conservatorship. So it's like
she got out of her father's control.
Exactly.
Brittney
so nothing is very clear. Like
she's not under a conservatorship for her father, but she still needs people managing her funds and people managing certain things. It's just not her family anymore. The court still doesn't think that Brittney is capable of running her own stuff or living alone. Or there's a lot of things that they still don't think she can do, which HIPAA, I get it. It might want to stay private. I'm surprised it didn't come out with this whole mess, but it really makes you wonder what is wrong with her, because it's crazy that she still can't have full control of anything. But yeah, I don't know, because depending on the relationship that she has with these people, sometimes I feel like people that you meet on a business relationship, like a manager or friends that you make later, will have your back a lot more than maybe family. So this might be better for her, but I don't know. I don't know who these people are and what kind of relationship she has with them.
You want me to be honest with you?
Always.
I've always felt bad for Brittney. But when everything started coming out with her and her kids, I started to be turned away a little bit. And I saw like this turn of where like there was feeling sorry for her, and now it's turning to like, what are you doing? And I don't know if it has to do with having more control over her well-being opposed to other people. Maybe she's just lashing out now. But when I saw her like just basically give up her kids, like she basically gave them up, and they don't really have contact. Like you have to be in a weird mental space to be able to do that, unless something really bad happened. And if something really bad happened, it would have come out.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's mental illness is so different, and I feel like the people that have to deal with it know what their limit is.
Of course.
It's almost like when you have to deal with somebody who has, I'll give you an example, an addiction.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you think you're helping, and at some point you realize you're an enabler and you're making it worse. And you got to realize when they have to want to help themselves. Exactly. Right? And yeah, I mean, if she is under the correct medications and this and that, then you do have to question, like, when are you? Because there was one point where she was taking some drugs that she wasn't even supposed to be taking, that they literally had her drugged out like a zombie and institutionalized. And at that point, yeah, you feel sorry for her. But there are some things in her behavior that could and I'm gonna read this book. I have to, because
Yeah.
I want to see what it sounds like and what it comes off as. But because of the things that she was forced to do since she was so young,
Yeah.
I don't know that I will blame her for just snapping and saying screw everybody. But there was a period of time in her life where she felt like she was all about her kids. That's all we will see on her Instagram. That's
Yep.
all she cared about. She barely had I don't think she's ever had custody of these kids, but she was present.
Yeah.
And yeah, at one point they just like disappeared, and it's just the whole thing is a mess. And I feel bad. I feel bad, and I don't know that we're ever gonna
Sad.
know the full story of what happened here.
It's sad. It's probably Britney Spears will go down as one of the biggest like rises and falls ever, and it's sad.
Yeah, and it's a conversation that is so hard to navigate because we don't even know what's wrong with her. We don't know what
And we don't know all the facts. We don't
possibly
know
her
everything.
illness could be. Like, I
Yeah.
remember one of the court cases because I followed it very closely. I'm a big Britney fan, and there was some early signs of dementia on Britney when she was still in like her early 30s. She's 40 something now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what if this woman is not remembering? I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's like very hard to have this debate because we don't know. And at this point, you're assuming certain things. You know what I mean? It's like, well, is she coherent enough to know what she's doing? Because if she's not, then I don't feel bad. But there is some of her behavior has not always been so on point where you gotta go like, oh, even her posts, like sometimes she posts like, I remember she posts a lot of trash talking about her sister and her mom, and then like a couple of weeks later she was like, oh, my mom came visit me today and we had coffee and it was great. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
know, but there's illnesses out there that will make you act out and lash out that way, and it's just a matter of, are the people at the other end, how long are they ready? The only thing that I know for sure is that it does feel like her dad was taking advantage of her.
Yeah.
But when you look at the situation from the condition that she was when her dad took her and took over the conservatorship and what he did with her up to a period of time,
Yep.
he renewed her career. Circus came out. She had the Vegas residency. She had the world tour. Like, there was a period of time where it felt like she had it together, and I
And they
don't
did
know
that
what
whole
happened.
documentary for her. Like she looked like she was
Yeah.
back to being herself,
Mhm.
and then it just fell apart again.
I don't know.
It's a sad. It's sad. It's. I don't know. I don't even have the words for it anymore because it's just there's just always something, and it's not like little things coming out. It's like major things, one after another after another.
Mhm.
Like where does she go from here? Is the question. Like how do you continue living your life at all? Like what do you like? Where does she go? Like
I don't know.
let me ask you this: when
Out
this
of the
marriage
public
first,
eye, I will. If I'm a manager, I will hire a PR team to just
just
handle her
retire and
social
go off
media.
somewhere.
I feel like she's retired. It's just that her presence is too much out there. Like, keep
Yeah.
her, have a PR team run her social media, but she hasn't been able to run her own social media so long that maybe she wants to. I don't know. It's such
Yeah.
a mystery.
It's sad, but I never even like when she first got married, I never saw it like surviving, not to be negative,
Okay.
but like I just in
I
her,
am surprised that Sam stuck around that long because he
yeah,
just seemed like a fling when she first got with him. And Brittany,
and it happened so
if we're
fast.
gonna talk about it, like, Brittany has had so many engagements and relationships that went. Like, Brittany has had a lot, and that's okay.
Like Tom Brady
Have
with all
fun,
those
girl.
rings.
Yes. Oh my god, my favorite thing is that she posted this week is like, I gave him the ring back. He got it free from the jewelry, anyways. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh snap, because of course he did. You're gonna go, you
Yeah,
go to a jewelry store and you go like, hey, I'm gonna propose to Britney Spears. Millions of people are gonna see this ring. Of course he's gonna get
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
I thought that was a funny burn. Like, do you
Man,
think, and let me know, people in the chat, do you think the ring should be given back or not? Joey.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
If you propose to someone, would
Yeah,
you want the ring back? Because like half the time you
okay,
can return
so
it, right?
I
Like,
the financial part of my brain says yes, I want it back, right? But if someone gave me a ring back, I'm not gonna use that ring again to like when
you
I
can
meet
pawn
someone
it.
else. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. I would pawn it and whatever. Take a nice freaking vacation, enjoy myself, give myself a nice, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would propose to somebody else with
No,
that
and
ring.
you wouldn't want to keep it around with the memories of your
Exactly.
failed engagement. Like, it's just weird. Like, I always see
Yeah.
this argument. Like, the Bachelor producers, if the relationships fall apart in less than 2 years, they have to give the ring back to Neil Lane. Fun fact.
I think it's respectable to give the ring back.
Yeah, I do too.
But there's obviously different situations. What if the guy steps out of the marriage and it's just it's dirty and it's messy and it's.
But now you're talking marriage. I'm talking like engagements. Like, if you
Well, that
didn't
can
make
happen
it,
with an engagement
I
too.
think, like, yeah, but no, I think an engagement you give it back. I feel like if
I
you're
would
really
think so.
married and all that, I feel like that's a whole different ballpark. Because when
Well,
you
that
brought up
was
all of her
split
rings, I'm
50-50.
talking about like all her engagements, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to marriage, I do think that's a little bit differently. But engagements, I just feel like, yeah, you should give it back. Like, you didn't even get married.
I
Why we
would
want to
think you
keep
give it back. I would think that, like, the proper etiquette. I don't know, because I never like looked into that, but I would assume that the proper etiquette would be to give the ring back.
Yeah, I feel like it's different when it comes to marriage, but that's a whole different debate. I just always thought it was a fun fact because we see so many people get proposed to by these beautiful rings in The Bachelor and Neil Lane. Like, they have a whole segment of them picking out the ring, and it is like, it is in the contract that if the relationship lasts less than 2 years, they have to give the rings back.
I mean, I kind of like that idea. Like,
me too. Me too. You made it 2 years engaged. Okay, that's fine. It's yours.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I know we're completely off topic, but marriage today is so, like, I remember when I talk to marriage about like with my parents, they're like, thick or thin, it's you can't break it. Today it's like, you looked at me the wrong way, divorce.
Yeah. I hear people like that go into marriage and they go like, it's okay if it doesn't work out, I'll just get divorced. And it's like, that's not the mentality.
Point. Yeah.
And at that point, I don't even get married. Like,
exactly.
At least like break up. At least like live together and break up. It's a lot easier to just take your stuff and go than it is to go through a divorce where you can get financially royally screwed for signing some papers that you didn't even go into. I feel like if you're gonna sign those papers, you should 100% believe that you're gonna be with this person forever. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you shouldn't go into a marriage with the mentality of, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just get divorced. You're already setting yourself up for failure.
Let me ask you.
I think marriage is paperwork. Because I think if you find the right person and you two are partners, yes, it's nice, right? But it's just like, I'm gonna have your back, you're gonna have my back, no matter what. We're ride or die. I don't need no paperwork to prove that.
The paperwork is not going to stop somebody from stepping out or doing something bad or whatever. It's what it is. I agree with you there. But let me ask you this last question, and we'll go to
our about Bunny. Okay.
Yes. Since you asked me a question about the ring, I want to ask you about this. Use yourself as an example. You get married, right? You get married, and then you end up getting divorced, right? Mm-hmm. Would you have, if you found somebody else, would you have another wedding?
I don't even want a first real wedding to begin with. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, I know I always say I'll never get married, but like my ideal wedding is like eloping me and that person somewhere, because I feel like people stress out over these weddings and then maybe come back and have a big party with the families, right? I just think, like, I feel like these weddings have just turned out to be such a spectacle, and it's not like, let's just show everybody that we love each other. Like, now it's just about impressing all these people that are supposed to be coming for you. So I don't know that I would even have a first wedding to begin with, unless if it means a lot to the person that I'm with, then I would do it. But no.
If I got married and we had a what you would think a wedding is, and then we got divorced and I found somebody else, I don't know if I would be up for another wedding.
What about if she's never been married? Because she's gonna want that, and you already had it. And if you don't want to give it to them, then they're gonna be like,
that would be the deciding factor. Then I would say, okay, you know what? Let's do it, babe. Whatever you want.
I feel like these are conversations that should be had like ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's another thing. People are going through relationships today, and it's just like, recently, I won't drop any names, but somebody that I know got engaged, and we were like grilling him about all these things that he didn't know. And I'm like, how do you not talk about these like crazy values? Like, these are deal breakers, and you should be having those conversations in the first 3 dates before you even fall in love with someone. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's this generation is just more YOLO than what we are.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to tell you, hey, I don't want this. I don't want this. I have this. I have. And then if we're okay with that, let's proceed.
You don't know how many people today that I know who were engaged or are engaged that don't live with their significant other. And it drives me insane. How do you can't marry someone? I'm sorry, you can't marry someone unless you know what it's like to live with them.
I agree with you on that.
How are you getting engaged and you both live at your parents' house separately?
Yeah,
how's that work?
That doesn't.
How's that work?
I don't know how you could do that.
I know multiple people who are in that situation, and I'm just like,
you're gonna spend your first like year together, like after you're married, when you're already like signed the paperwork, and you can like the way that a person lives could really be a deal breaker.
You can make or break it. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I have an issue, and I don't know if you go through this. This has been one of my favorite podcasts that we've done, by the way. We are so like not on script, and it's been great.
Yeah.
But like, I had gotten so used to just it being me and Roman that I feel like I'm gonna have a really hard time living with someone ever again, ever. And I'm not just talking relationship. I'm talking like I'm even a roommate, family. Like, I don't want to live with anyone. I love being just me and Roman.
I feel the exact same way. And I feel like something is wrong with me because I feel like that. And I'm like, I used to not like having being alone. Like, there's a difference of being lonely and being alone.
Oh, 1000%. I love being alone. Being lonely is not for everybody.
And if I don't want to be alone, I could go out and not be alone.
Correct.
Right? I have the option.
Correct.
But and my family looks at me like, something's wrong with him. Like, you can't be alone all the time. I was like,
yeah, I can. Yeah, it's scary, but it's scary.
My rules, my time, whatever I want, clothes on or off, lights on or off.
There's nothing better than that. Exactly. Like, you don't have to worry like, oh my God, I fell asleep with all the lights on. It's my house. I pay the bills. Who cares? But like, on a day that you don't feel good, if you want to sit on the couch all day with your blanket and your dog and you, I don't know, like I guess like people would just go like, you really just gonna sit there in your PJs? So yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah. Like, I love, and a lot of people are agreeing with us in the chat.
I love it
because I just like it was very hard for me. Like, I had a really long relationship that I ended. It was so hard for me to restart again. But then once I did, I'm like, man, I kind of love this. I don't know that I ever want to go back to anything else.
I think it takes a strong person to be comfortable with being alone, like by themselves, but also to enjoy their time alone. Like, you have to really value yourself to do. I know people who are like, the idea of them being in a room by themselves or their apartment by themselves, like makes them like go crazy, where it's like, I can't be alone. I don't like being alone.
Do you not think that maybe they just don't have anything to do? Because I'm always busy too. Like, it's not like I barely. The other day, I finally, if we get to it today, I finally watched like 2 things on Netflix, and I was like, holy crap! It's been forever since I sat down with Netflix because I'm always so busy, and I live alone. But obviously you get it because you create content too. I'm like, there's always something to edit. There's always something to post. There's always a stream I gotta get ready for. Like, just because I'm alone doesn't mean that I'm just like. That's why I said, when I have a day or a few hours to just be me, you're going to get the laziest version of me because I'm always going. And it's like, I don't want nobody judging me when I'm just sitting there with my favorite blanket, just like watching something stupid.
My Sundays, I'm watching like, I get up. I don't even set an alarm. I get up when I get up.
That's the best.
It's not past 10 o'clock in the morning. I usually wake up early because my internal clock goes off. But like, I take my time, I make my coffee, I do my own thing, I watch TV. I'm a slowpoke that day.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I earn this. Like, I could, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very like, you get it. You know how early I wake up. I was actually like, Joey's gonna be mad at me today because I didn't send him my 4 or 5 a.m. message. But I got up, went to the gym, went to get my nails done, went to do a bunch of things to be back like on time. But I was like, I have a routine, and it's just gonna be so hard for me to break it or to allow somebody to take me out of it, like, I don't know. But Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not the only person that feels that way. And
Yeah.
I love what you said about the difference between being alone and being lonely.
Yep.
Because it is a different thing. And you do feel lonely sometimes. But I feel like you could be surrounded by 100 people or live with everybody
Be
and still
lonely.
feel lonely. Like, I don't think being lonely has anything to do with who you live with or how many people you're surrounded around.
Nope.
It's almost like a state of mind that you have to
1000%.
find the right people to help you get out of it. When I feel lonely, I listen to Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Well, that's our transition right there. Because you may not feel lonely during this upcoming Super Bowl. We had this discussion last time.
Yes, I feel like I keep manifesting these things, Joey.
It's not the 2024 Super Bowl. It's the 2023 Super Bowl, but it happens in 2024, correct?
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Yes. But you have been
On point, Mystic
I don't
Diva.
know where
They
that
be on my streams. They be calling me Mystic Diva now.
show me that ball, because I don't know where you got that ball by you, but you got some.
I said it on this show.
You got some spell back there. She's like whipping in a bowl with like all these.
It's that witchcraft stuff. Listen, black magic woman. I said it on one of our very first few episodes. I said to you, Bad Bunny has enough hit that he could headline the Super Bowl. And now tell me what news we have to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't honestly at the time. I didn't think that it would be a thing, like maybe a feature. Because wasn't he a feature at one point?
Well, yeah, when Shakira and Jennifer Lopez performed, he came out and sang his verse on I Like It, which he originally performed that song with Cardi B.
Yeah.
But he did it with Shakira here.
So the news today, the main event of our show, Bad Bunny is a contender to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. But let me ask you this. Because there's a bunch of names on that list. There's Miley Cyrus. There's Miley Cyrus and
they don't matter.
Styles. There's Bad Bunny.
Nobody matters. Bad Bunny is the biggest star in the world right now.
Do you think it's Bad Bunny by himself, or
yes,
Bad Bunny and maybe?
Well, no. Like if you really think about it, I think that Bad Bunny has been very smart in the latest like features that he's been doing. Like if you really think about it, he just dropped a song with Gorillaz, dropped a song with Drake, Travis Scott.
Yeah.
So there are. I just told you he has a song with Cardi B. There's a couple of English singing people that he has features with that he could bring in here or there.
Yeah.
But I think that Bad Bunny has transcended to a point that he could go out there and sing 2-3 songs in Spanish and people will enjoy it and people will recognize the songs, which is the craziest part to me.
You want to know what I want to say?
He's gonna bring Drake. Him and Drake are making a big deal about this song that they're dropping soon.
I want to see Bad Bunny with Daddy Yankee, with Pitbull, and throw in a female Latin star. I want to see like a festival of the best of Latin stars, like from all time, and have it like a celebration of music. Because I think
that would be amazing. I mean, it kind of like what they did for the rap and hip hop one that we never thought would happen. That's still my favorite one of all time, honestly. The more that I think about it, I like J-Lo and Shakira, but I think for me it was because Bad Bunny was there, and when J-Lo opened up that Puerto Rican flag, I just I cried. I was like, holy shit, there's my flag in the middle of the Super Bowl. Like, it was a cool moment. Crazy. But I feel like, I don't know, man, Bad Bunny headlined Coachella. You mean to tell me he couldn't headline the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I like your point. I would like to see him do it alone. I think that Bad Bunny has done
the majority of the show, but then he brings
bring in some people. He has a couple of songs with Daddy Yankee that are actually bangers.
Legend.
He has a song with Don Omar. Like, there's a lot of people that Bad Bunny could bring. But I would
who's the female artist that you would say could be in that group? Because I don't know. You would know more than me.
I mean, he has a couple of features with Ivy Queen, and when it comes to that particular style of music, reggaeton, what we call reggaeton, she's like the girl, but I don't think that she's mainstream like the way that. Yeah. So he will have to bring like I don't know.
I would hope it's not Jennifer Lopez or like Shakira again.
He could bring Cardi B. They do have a song together, but he performed part of it already. Yeah. So, and it's not. I mean, Cardi does speak Spanish, so I don't understand it, but she speaks Spanish. I don't know. I just think that the possibility of his name being mentioned is like humongous, and the more that I think about it, it's just, to me, it's just mind blowing. But he just headlined Coachella. That's the biggest music festival in the United States, and he headlined it both weekends. Please take that off the screen. Becky G is a good one. Becky G is a good one.
Becky G
Good
will
one,
be good.
Ricky. Becky G will be good.
Yeah.
And I believe they do a collab. They might have. So, but if he did it just by himself, it would just be such a moment.
Yeah.
And he rapped about like so many things. There's a song where he like gives thanks. It's like a grateful song that he came out a couple years ago, and he talks like about like being part of the Super Bowl. But imagine like headlining it. He talks about getting a phone call for Triple H, and now look, he main evented a pay-per-view. Like, you talk about me manifesting things. The way this man is accomplishing everything he sets out to do and more is incredible. And for us, and we're just a little island that we need people like him to put us on the map. And I don't think it's been a long time since somebody put Puerto Rico in the map the way that Bad Bunny has. Or Logan Paul. That was sarcasm.
Let me tell you, I don't think there has been anyone ever to blow up the way that Bad Bunny did, but to do all of the things that he's done already.
Yeah.
In such a short period of time.
And my favorite thing is that he didn't have to change. Like, he said that on his MTV Video Awards acceptance speech when they gave it to him at Yankee Stadium. He said, I never had to change who I am, my sexuality, my language. I didn't have to change anything. And there is, like, everybody knows who Bad Bunny is. Or you could play a song, you might not know the words, but you recognize it.
You recognize the
and
music.
You see all these people dancing to it. And recently I was like taking a trip down memory lane to the first concert that he did here stadium wise, like before he went crazy. And he talked about how it doesn't matter how much fame he accomplishes. He says his favorite thing is when he gets to say where he's from. And he said his favorite thing is hearing people from all different nationalities, all different backgrounds, talking the way that we talk. Because Bad Bunny's music is as Puerto Rican slang as it gets. Like, if you're not from here, you're not going to understand half of the things he's saying. Yeah. And he says to hear the entire world talk like we do here, like, it's crazy. So if he gets to do it in that, I don't think I'm not gonna be able to stand myself that day. I'm gonna throw a party. It's gonna be Bad Bunny theme, and everybody has to come dressed up in their favorite Bad Bunny look. Like, I'm already planning it.
Yeah, like to compare it to like wrestling, because that's what we, obviously that's what we always do. But his journey has literally been like someone who decides they're gonna be a wrestler. Gets signed by NXT, doesn't know anything, gets trained, goes through the system, rises to Raw and SmackDown, and eventually headlines WrestleMania for a world title. Like, that's the road.
Isn't it crazy? When we went to WrestleCon, you were there, and I got to interview Enzo, and Enzo was telling us how he gave Bad Bunny his WrestleMania 33 tickets when he was just a SoundCloud rapper, and he said, I knew he had it. There are those, if you look them up, there's those pictures of Bad Bunny just as a fan wearing his little WrestleMania jersey at WrestleMania 33. Yeah, it's like, I remember Bad Bunny used to bag groceries in 2017 while he was on SoundCloud. This isn't that far, like, that's not that long ago. 5 years ago, he was bagging groceries at Econo in Vega Baja. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the way that maybe he's Illuminati confirmed. Who knows?
You want to hear a crazy story? Because you just mentioned Enzo. Now it's in my head.
Yeah.
So you know how, the other day, because my dad's birthday is today. My mom's birthday was Sunday. So we went out for lunch on Sunday.
Right.
And I'm getting out of the car, and a car pulls up next to me. It's Enzo. He gets out of the car. We look at each other, and we're like, what are the odds of this?
That's hilarious.
He had just left Wrestle Bash in Jersey, which I was supposed to go to on Sunday, but because it was my mom's birthday, I couldn't go.
Yeah.
We're like, what are the odds?
He's such a nice guy.
He's a real one.
Yeah, he's very professional too.
And did you see him at New Japan this weekend?
Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm proud of him. Killing it. Yeah.
But I think we could sit here and talk about Bad Bunny all day. I am like, I don't know that much about Bad Bunny. You obviously, yeah. But it is like, it's crazy to watch the rise and see, like, he is breaking so many like glass ceilings that I personally didn't even know were there, because he's not an American artist singing pop or rap or this. He took a genre that was so niche at one point.
And he's doing it all
up.
And he's doing it all for Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Joseph.
what I
That's
love.
I heard about the Cassandra movie that he's already a part of. It's coming out soon. But
He's
my
everywhere.
favorite thing is he's never forgotten about where he comes from. Like when he did that music video that ended up turning into, I don't know if anybody watched it. It does have English captions. It's very interesting about the colonization of Puerto Rico and what's going on in Puerto Rico in
Yeah.
one of his music videos. I remember when the music video got released, and I look and I'm like 22 minutes, and it ended up being a very well put together documentary to let the world know what Puerto Rico's going
Yeah.
through right now. When he went to Coachella during his intermission, it was like a 12-minute history about salsa music and like
Yeah.
everything that is originated in Puerto Rico. Like when he did the Grammys performance and he had the Vejigantes, like everything that he does. Like even now, even the older people like are starting to like him, because Bad Bunny, I don't want to say it's controversial, but like if you have somebody like my parents, when I first started liking him, they hated him because he curses a lot. But
Yeah.
Bad Bunny doesn't, it's not talk rap. It's just like I want to have fun, and he talks about
Yeah.
sex a bit. Yeah, we all do,
Yeah.
right? But
Have
then
you
he came
heard
out.
rap today?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, at least he's
Yeah.
not like calling about killing people and all that, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of like gangster reggaeton. That's not what he does. He's about having a good time, and he shows in
Yep.
his music. In his last album, whether you like it or not, it's a masterpiece. It's an unskippable album. It's been years since I could listen to an entire album without skipping a
Yeah.
single
And we
song.
talked about this before.
Yeah, he came out with the merengue song, which he knew what he was doing, because that's how he pulled in the older people. I played it for my parents and they freaking loved it. And like when I showed them what he's doing out there, and like look at what he did for Backlash, and like the fact that him and Damian Priest were able to bring out Carlito and bring out Savio Vega, and it felt like such a Puerto Rico homage within their match, in such an emotional moment, because I tell you how busy I am in Puerto Rico covering wrestling. Puerto Rico is a hot market for wrestling.
I didn't know it, but it is. I
we
see what
have
you do, and it's crazy.
we have always something going on. And you saw the show that I got to ring announce. There was 12,000 people there. Like Puerto Rico's a hot market, so for WWE to not come here in that long is crazy. And for them to take that match, put on a really good match, but still give us those moments that they knew the crowd were gonna go crazy for. Savio and Carlito work for completely opposed companies in Puerto Rico. This is like the AEW and WWE of Puerto Rico. They don't get along. They don't co-work together. They don't collaborate. So to see them there for the local crowd together, that's just something we're not gonna get. We're not gonna get it. Like the things that he does are amazing. And if he is able to headline the Super Bowl, it would just be absolutely mind-blowing. I just like hope and pray that he never gets canceled, because I have like 4 Bad Bunny tattoos in my body at this point. My dad says my body is like a walking billboard for Bad Bunny.
You know what it is, though? I think you say that he never forgets where he comes from, and it's so true, because and he's doing it for Puerto Rico. I think the motivation for doing everything that he does is to build the reputation and build the image of Puerto Rico. Like that's the fuel to make him go, and that's why he's always that's what he puts first.
Right. When I left Puerto Rico, I started listening to rap and hip hop, and that's what I stuck with in English.
Yeah.
And the reason why I started and immediately fell in love with him and haven't stopped listening to him is because his music was home. I listened to him and I was like, this guy's more Puerto Rican than me. The things that he was saying, the slang, the way that the music played, the rhythm, everything. And I was like, and I was living in the States at the time still. So I was like, he reminded me of home. I could pop Bad Bunny and I could close my eyes and I thought I would be back in the heat, in the beach in Puerto Rico. And nobody's music I ever connected with from here that would take me home. So that's why I call Bad Bunny home. It's the best way to describe it. So if you're from Puerto Rico, like it's easy to get it. And if you're not, it will make you go like, I want to hang out with a Puerto Rican, because we're cool, we're fun, we like to have fun, and that's what his music is all about. It'll put you in a really good mood. And every once in a while, his wordplay, when he throws his more rap oriented, where he's like more cocky, his wordplay is amazing as well. But he talks and he reminds me of home, and that's why I liked him. So yeah, you're absolutely right. He's representing Puerto Rico in everything that he does.
Issa, you talked about before the Amber Heard Johnny Depp documentary.
Yes, I watched it.
Anything interesting this week that you've been able to watch with your busy schedule?
I don't even know how I even watched that. I think I did it on Thursday because I didn't do
Did you watch the whole thing? Because I know it's like
I watched all of it, 3 episodes. They're not that long. It was very good. I remember seeing what went viral, but it was a very good breakthrough of the case. And it did make me look at certain things differently. So I do suggest it because everybody was so Team Johnny that a lot of things got. I don't want to say I support
Under
Amber
the
Heard
rug.
either, but I feel like everybody turned on her without really hearing like her side of the story as well. Very good, and the way that they did this documentary is like with like including the YouTubers, including the TikTokers. It's very today influential. You know what I mean? Like how it went viral,
It's
like
on
that.
Netflix, by the way. Sorry.
Right, it's on Netflix, and I also watched a documentary called Untold about the Balco scandal, sports scandal with the steroids. That's also on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's actually from the guy that was creating the steroids that didn't register. He's the guy that like was giving steroids to like Marion Jones. Remember, she got stripped of all her medals and all that. Barry Bonds. So he talks about how he created this like it's from like the actual criminal's perspective. It's a good documentary. That's it. That's all I had time to watch. Okay, and Big Brother and the Challenge.
I watched the show Jury Duty. It's already a few months old now, but I finally hopped on the bandwagon. I watch it. It's on Amazon. Do you ever hear that show? Jury Duty?
I heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's a show where it's like it's all a fake show, and there's one person who thinks it's actually jury duty. It's from the producers of The Office, which I didn't know until after the fact. I was telling people like, oh, this show kind of reminds me of The Office, the way that it's set up. And then I go to show my mom and dad, the trailer. And it's just from the producers of The Office. I'm like, that's why it's like The Office. Because it's such a good show. So funny. It's on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend it. 8 episodes. They're like 25 minutes each. It's a night sitting.
Oh, that's a nice watch. Okay.
Yeah. I like how we're on this. It's a nice night's watch. But I recommend it. It was great. Other than that, I didn't watch anything.
I love that it's 25 minutes. I have ADHD. It's very hard to keep my attention.
Yeah. There's a lot of shows that they're like, you want to watch this? There's 8 seasons. Each season has like 10, 15 episodes, and each one's an hour and a half.
You know how many shows I started watching that I feel like I was into, and then I just like completely forgot that I was watching them.
Yep. We've been on here for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did 120 last week, so we decided we up it 10 more minutes today.
Remember when we first started doing the show? We're like 35 to 45.
Yeah, it never worked.
It's because we love each other so much. That's what it is.
Yeah, we didn't know how it was gonna go, and now we don't shut up.
Issa and I can have like a subathon for like 12 hours and just go the whole time.
Yeah, we could. Oh my god. They haven't seen nothing yet. They should see us in person doing our best shit talk.
Yeah. I love it. But
we're destroying some Applebee's together. I need to come see you.
Yeah. I found Applebee's 10 minutes down the road from me. I didn't even know it was there. I haven't gone yet, but I know it's there.
You gotta take me to it when I come.
Yeah. It's in like Fort Lee. It's close.
Well, there is an Applebee's in Fort Lee.
Yeah. But Issa, it's always a pleasure to do the show with you.
I look forward to it every week.
And our chat has been off the charts today. No, you rule.
Everybody who pulled up today rules. Yeah. There's a couple of weird shots in there. I saw them. But overall, we had our regulars in here. You guys are all a blast. Thank you so much for watching us. Mm-hmm.
David says, Joey, keep the beard. You look like Captain America. I appreciate the compliment, but I'm going to hold that one forever now, you know.
America's ass.
Yeah, right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today and watching and doing all the good stuff you always do. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe down below to the Know Your News channel. But also, Issa and I have our own stuff going on outside of TLR. You can follow her at NYC Demon Diva with the 1, because she is the 1.
Yeah, that's on Twitter. On YouTube, you can find me just normal NYC Demon Diva.
Yeah. And my nameplate always says at Joey Karni, but I barely use that one. That's my name, obviously, but I use at The Angle Radio on Twitter and The Angle Podcast everywhere else. And go subscribe to our channels. I'm always Issa's live like every day, and I always hop in her chat. So if you want to get more of both of us together, essentially,
we need to do a watch along together.
You know, people have been saying it.
Yeah,
the streets have been calling, and they've been saying it.
Yeah, we need to do it. We just gotta find a good show.
Yeah, maybe we can even plan something to do something live.
Yeah.
together at the same together live.
Together, not like
in
this, like
person.
actually together. Yeah. We're just looking for excuses to see each other again.
Yeah, that's what it is. But
live from Applebee's. It's Issa and Joey.
WWE Payback with Issa and Joey, sponsored by Applebee's.
Didn't they sponsor one of the pay-per-views recently, the Royal Rumble?
They did. Didn't they have a commercial with all the wrestlers like in Applebee's?
Yeah.
Gotta get on it. Brand deal, sponsorship. Let's go. Let's do it. But thank you everybody for tuning in and always being a part of the show. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.